world with a lot of tech, I feel like I see people really unaware of each other, like when I go out places and they're like on their phone or they have their AirPods in, you know, and just not present. But the past couple days I've encountered a couple people who are just like so present, and they are a blessing to other people. And that is one challenge I've heard to especially believers, is the idea of like, you can't expect to hear the Holy Spirit's prompting or be aware of what your neighbor needs if you're distracted. And so yesterday I was at Trader Joe's and I was standing in line, and I've tried to be more intentional about not being on my phone when I'm like waiting in line. Even though sometimes it's like I'm doing it, yes baby, I'm not talking to KK. Even though sometimes I'm doing it because I'm like doing emails or adding something to the budget or responding to something I have to respond to, it's like work that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have done on my computer, you know? So anyways, trying to be better about that. So I was standing in line at Trader Joe's, not on my phone, and kind of chit-chatting with Warren, but basically just like being there. And the lady next to me smiled at me. Everywhere I go, people do notice Warren. And so she had in her cart these Valentine's heart-shaped macarons. And I was like, oh, yes, baby, you need help with your balloon? Okay, mommy will help you when we get there, okay? And I was like, oh, where did you get those? And she goes, oh, they're over in the freezer section. I was like, that is so cool, because they just looked good. And I like creative things for Valentine's Day. And she was like, if you'll watch my cart, because she was in line, she said, if you'll watch my cart, I'll go get you some. Like, I understand what it's like to have a little one. And I was like, thank you so much. So I stood between our carts, and she went and got me a package of them, and then I was able to buy them. And that just interaction never would have happened if she had been on her phone or I had been on my phone, which is so sweet. And then this morning I was at Central Market because in all my grocery shopping I forgot to get bone broth for the soup this weekend. And this guy in front of me noticed that I only had one item, this bone broth. And he was like, you go ahead. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yes, you have one thing, go ahead. And so I went ahead of him in the self-checkout. And it was just really kind. And strangers' kindness just allows you to know that you're seen. And I also want to be more aware of seeing others and doing the same thing for them. So anyways, just an encouragement that there are a lot of kind people out there, and if we're aware of each other, we'll be more sensitive to each other's needs.